And welcome back to a live stream on the internet. Today it is Tuesday, the 30th of March, the 30th of the 3rd of the 2020th, and I think that's beautiful. And if you don't think that's beautiful, maybe what you do think is beautiful is my end. My end is this big glass-covered structure that's delightful to look at, right? But it has the key problem I'm sure you've all noticed, if not by yourself, then via my Let's Play perhaps, that it has these three ugly end islands on the three sides of it. And you know what? That can't be... I don't want to stand for that. I don't want to let that happen. So what we're going to do is I've got some shulker boxes. I've got a big project where I need some end stone. So we're gonna wheel the end stone out of here via my shulker boxes. And we're going to place it inside of an ocean. It's going to be great. It's going to be delightful. But yeah, the first part of moving a block is breaking it. So this island right here, it needs to be broken up. It's bizarre. It's ugly. Doesn't even make sense. And yeah, the scary thing is last time I did a bunch of endstone mining, the reason I stopped endstone mining for a while was because I fell into the void. I was a little bit casual. I fell in the void. It was tragic. Big problem. Bring big salmon to the end, says Zabmar Duck. But today I'm going to be more careful, and how to be more careful than perhaps by drinking some melon juice. So I've got myself some Midori right here, and my plan is to enjoy... Oh, I put it in the freezer and I can't undo it. So as soon as oh, that was like really tightly on. So I've got a delightful green juice. You know, green juice is healthy, people are always saying, right? Those are the words that people use. But basically I'm gonna pour myself a lovely little invisible beverage. See, because it's green and my green screen is green, you can see through the beverage. I'm gonna be drinking some Midori. Because how to make things safe? I mean, melons make everything safe. There's a reason we use melons as like, that's super tasty. Yeah, I've been surprised how many people have, just because of casual mentions in streams, or, I guess it's a lot more than a casual mention, but I've been surprised how many people have like given it a try and been like, oh, yeah, Japanese melons are delicious. But yeah, basically, Toycat breaks a tooth on a live stream. You know, something that does weird me out is people who can, open a bottle with their teeth. But yeah, so basically we're gonna be going very casually. It's gonna be fun. And do you want to place your bets right now? Are we gonna fall or not? Because stomach. Oh wait, Toycat, how was your day today? Thank you. Okay, wire. Okay, wire. Olive wire. You know what, Olive wire? You're an okay wire. I hope you know that. But thank you so much. I am doing good today. Thank you for asking. I had my first like meeting people like properly. For the first, like, I don't know, for a while, because that's been illegal for a while in the UK. You know, it's been nice. I've always thought like social isolation, what a great thing. Honestly, that has been my basic take. Like, everyone's like missing their big events like music festivals, and there's a part of me again. Like, at least I acknowledge this is a part of me, and I fix it. It's like I don't get any benefit from like I don't know music festivals. I don't enjoy music, so why ever allow them again? If I don't enjoy it, and there's always negative externalities to every event, like, you know, me drinking this melon juice is gonna have the tiniest extra strain
quality content.
Thank you, I agree, this is the highest quality content. Toycat mines endstone and talks about it for a while. Feels like Toycat's gonna fall. See, as long as you're aware of the risk, I feel like you're all good. But like there are things that I don't enjoy, I get no benefit from. Therefore, why should I let other people do them? Except, of course, that's not my call to make, right? But like, we've been put in a situation where like, oh yeah, we socially do get to decide what other people get to do. And what it really means is just like, they won't tell you about it. But I think there's something very, very funny about what that basically means, right? The whole like, oh, yeah, so, you know, no one can tell you what you can and cannot do, except we all can. And, so as someone who's, like, is not usually that social in most years, I basically have only missed out on, like, traveling to countries that have restrictions, and also, on going to the gym. So, like, oh no, I can't be healthy, and I guess I have to order a bunch of food in. Like, a lot of people have been going through some crazy things. And I think it's interesting, that kind of, I guess there's an interesting gap in almost anything like that. Like, we always like to believe that everything is like, you know, like the words that like get humans excited are like, yeah, it's equal amongst all humans. But there's never a true.
Safe In the end, you might fall, but I think you'll save yourself.
I'm gonna do my best not to fall. If we do the dangerous bits first, that seems safer, right? If we just start dangerous and then work our way safer, it'll be great. So, Toy Cat, you claim to be introverted, but you talk to us for hours. Seems inconsistent, says Daniel A. Yeah, the way I would just describe myself, because I don't like enjoy parties, but if there is a party of some form coming up, I'll like not be social in the like I'll save up my social for the party. It's like I don't know, if one of my if I had an opportunity to, I know there are some things I enjoy that are expensive that I can't afford very often, so I save up money for them. And you know, like I don't know, there's a lot of dumb hobbies I have, mostly sort of travel. I like weird food. I like fun travel experiences, etc. Also, thank you, Alejandro, for the $4.99 tip. Appreciate it. Also, yeah, say when the imposter's sus. When the imposter's sus. But I think there's a the way I would say it is I like save my energy for the event, and these streams, like in a lot of cases, it's fun for me to talk about some things I really want to. It's actually kind of like, you can probably see like there are certain things where I'm like crazy excited to talk, and then there are times where I'm like I'm talking about something that I have no joy in because someone has brought it up, and I don't know how to get away from here. And so I have a lot of fun on the I have a lot of fun trying to like find out what both of those categories are, and so that's what I do. So speaking of things that I do, wow, it's March the 30th, right? You know what that time is? It's time to get yourself some Toy Cat Christmas merch. It's invisible on the green screen. Just like my beverage. But, see, I do understand the whole, like, it does feel a bit weird. Because, you know, most introverted people are just like, yep, hate all humans all the time. I think one of the sad things to me is how much I need other humans. Like, nothing makes me sadder. You know, people always talk about, like, oh yeah, I think the worst thing is that we'll never get to explore the world because it's already explored, but we're too young to explore space. Or like, isn't it sad that we're all gonna die one day? No, shut up, Selena. But what it actually is the tragic thing to me is that I think I need other humans. I am happier in some form. For instance, yeah, let's go a bunch of examples. I am happier knowing that, like, oh yeah, if I need to hang out and talk about a thing, a person will do that. I am happier in a relationship where I have some form of, like, you know, emotional support there for me. I don't like that those things are true. They are facts I try to deny about myself for a long time. Because I don't like spending much time with other people. I'm like the reluctant social person when I need to be. But yeah, I need other people, and it's sad. It's a scale, right? You need a balance of humans. Like here's an example though. Like when I first moved out, I just didn't speak to anyone for a month. I spent the full month just inside my new house, enjoying it, and I started to realize, like, oh yeah, I'm not normal. Something does break in you. Everyone has a point like this. I don't know where it is for everyone, but I realized I'm glad I realized this, like, pre-pandemic and everything. But like, I spent a month not talking to anyone, and I was way worse for it. I thought that was the dream. That was always my like, oh, I wish that could happen. Like, I didn't need anyone, you know, as long as I did these YouTube videos, I'd be fine. And I thought, like, well, the YouTube videos are basically speaking. But yeah, like, I don't know why. I need, like, a social situation. Even, like, basic things, like, okay, I'm just gonna... Like, this is how I understand old people, even though I dislike the way they do it. But it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go places just so I have someone to talk to. I like going to the bank because I get to talk to the nice lady. Like, the basic interactions like that do something for you, right? And so, yeah, it's interesting. I'm an introverted person that knows that he needs humans and is horrified by that fact. Because, you know, like, I would say, like, I always, this is gonna sound like such a superiority complex or something, and it probably is something like that, but, like, I just hated, especially when I was in school, I was like, I hate all of you. Like, you know there was, like, a big, is it called a prom? I think it's called a prom. There's, like, an end of school thing you do, and I was like, why would I want to spend? Why would I? First of all, it's paying money. You know, I don't have money anyway. But like, why would I pay money to be around all these people from my school year? I would like to be as like separated from them as fast as possible. And if that means not going back, then heck yeah. Also, crazy video idea. Also, or GB Al's Toy Cat is no you British colonizer. Crazy video idea. Reaffirm your traditional Catholic faith. Marry your girlfriend and have 7 kids. Also, thank you for all you do. That's a great idea, Protestant 501. I've always wondered why Catholics have more children than Protestants, especially in Northern Ireland. It's one of those facts I haven't really thought about too much, and I know if I ask anyone about it, they'll give me some... You know, here's the thing. When you ask about certain things, like if I ask you, like, oh, so, what's the deal with, I know, why are pubs called pubs? You'll say, oh, yeah, it's because they used to be called public houses, etc. If I ask you something that involves a group of people, for some reason, everyone just gives you their weird, like, interpretation. Like, oh, yeah, oh, the reason is because I hate the Catholics, and, you know, they're all a bunch of grimy smucks or something. And it's like, what? Can you not just tell me, like, if you don't have an answer to my question, don't just, like, slander an entire group of people. Or the reverse, which is even worse, is like, well, I know that the Catholics were persecuted, so maybe they have more children because of that. And it's like, I get it, you're really proud, you learned about the persecution of something or other, and you need an opportunity to talk about it, and you're using me. But I asked for some information. Could you just say, no, I don't know why that is next time? That would be fine, you know? That would be okay. Humans need other people so much. Without people, they're physically less healthy. Yeah, it's funny, like, that's why old people... Toy Cat fancies the bank lady. I don't have a... There's no lady at my bank, sadly. There's a, Actually, wait, there might be a lady. There's no lady I regularly see. Like, I never see any staff at my bank twice. I don't know if they hire and fire a bunch of people or what the scoop is. I've seen one guy, a black guy with a headphone in all the time. He's the only guy I see at my bank regularly. And I have a bank manager who's like specifically, you know, like I have one guy who's like a specific human, like I guess like a doctor, but like for your bank. I don't understand how any of this works, honestly. Yeah. Also, did I get my title wrong? Destroying my void. Oh, my bad. Yep. Destroying my end. Literally destroying my void would be incorrect. You're right. That was terrible of me. Destroying my end and praying I don't fall. There we go. New title. You're welcome. Shift rotate around Toy Cat. Oh yeah, it's just like I recognize the guy at my convenience store every time. I recognize all the people at my local supermarket. Which, by the way, I don't like that. You know, so this is... You know, I just said that I need humans, and I admit, like, it's nice to have humans sometimes. But the worst thing is when, is being recognized somewhere. Like, a place even, like, recognized me and was like, oh, do you want the same thing as last time? It's like, no, I can never come here again. You've ruined it for me now. Now, in this interact, you misunderstood what I wanted from you. It was probably, I think it was a bubble tea place. You misunderstood what I wanted. I wasn't here for the conversation and to build a relationship. I was here because I wanted bubble tea, and now you know me, I need to know you. What's the deal with you? I don't know what the deal with you is. I don't intend to ask, because when I'm coming through here, I'm here to get bubble tea. I'm not... And it's like, okay, I'm just gonna... This is the end. I've not gone to the bubble tea place since. And it sucks, because there aren't many bubble tea places where I live. And now I can't go back to one. You can be introverted and still be engaging in a venue you control. Yeah, I think a lot of introverts are just people who only like specific types of socialization. Or socialism, perhaps you could call it. Same, I can't stand others when they begin to recognize me. Others like that. Not me, I like anonymity. Yeah, I was thinking about a really interesting thing on the internet, right? So there's 2 types of people on the internet. I got an email from someone called, like, Abigail the Bony Dragon. And she was like, oh yeah, I won't tell you my you know, any information. And like I hadn't asked for it, but they were like adamant they wouldn't tell me. As like yeah, it's just a privacy thing. And I'm totally on board with that. I would rather be anonymous everywhere I went. I would like, obviously this doesn't work because people will use it for something crime or whatever. But like I would love if every time I left the house, my face was hidden. You know, isn't that the cool thing about masks? Now we can wear full face masks and it's a-okay. You can wait till the TP will forget you. Yeah, I might go in there now. It's been like a year, and just see if they say something and be like, yes, they've forgotten me. Like dress differently, have a beard or something. I don't know. That's the plan at least. Anyway, by the way, Cow Chop Time says I'm introverted. I followed everything you said until you said not liking the stores recognizing you. I actually like when they recognize me because I have weird orders, so it's nice that someone knows it. See, that is actually like kind of cool. If you get the same thing literally every time, 10 times in a row, and they understand it, like that's great. I think when you have a very specific request, it's wonderful, right? Then it would start against us. Here's Chrissy. Oh yeah, that's why I'm so excited to live in the city of London proper. Is because like there's 8 million people in that city. Good luck remembering anyone's face. People come in and out all the time, and yeah, it's gonna be great. Anyway, I think why was the dragon bony? I didn't ask questions about the bony dragon. Okay, I did not ask the questions. I'm sorry, but yeah. So like that, this person was my cats love the long boy. Hold the long boy over a real cat for 2 long boys. That's adorable. Thank you for sharing that with me. Fat tax cat. But so yeah, oh, my inventory is basically full. I should make a little pathway temporarily. Yeah, I'll do that. Just so I can... I feel like wasting a firework every time is probably bad. Bad business in comparison to what I could do. So we'll just stack up. And then later we can remove it, and all the scaffolding falls in the void. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stack up a bunch again. And there we... Oh, God! The scaffolding stopped me from flying, so let's just... Okay, that's fine. I'm alive. I'm doing it. I'm sorry for scaring you, Internet. IBX Boycat. Thank you, Moo. It's been a while since I've seen you. I was worried you were gone, but I'm glad you are back. So yeah, we're going to be mining a lot of endstone. And remember to keep your elytra on. So take off the elytra is what you're saying, and then go for a quick fly. Okay, let's do that. No, I will keep my elytra on at all times. Very much for that circumstance. Anyway, so this person was like super obsessed with anonymity, and I agree with that. I love anonymity as a concept. Obviously, I don't get anonymity on the internet because when I'm on the internet, I'm there as myself. Even when I'm like on Reddit or whatever, I'm not smart enough to have multiple social medias, so I'm sure that will bite me in the rear one day. But anyway, so I love the idea of anonymity, but also the other side of things you see is people desperately wanting the opposite. People wanting recognition and fame. People will do dumb things, the sorts of things that you'd be mortified to know under your name, just to get a little bit of recognition and fame. Streaking across, you know, like a football pitch, just so people are like, hey, it's that guy. Like there are people that are desperate for any source of attention they can get. And it's so weird, right? We have people who are obsessed with attention and people who are obsessed with the opposite. And they both exist on this same internet plane and basically can operate in similar ways. And it made me realize something about myself because I totally want both those things. I'm so terrified of being forgotten. That is, I think it was like, I think the saddest thing about like, oh God. I think the saddest thing about like, I don't know, like a breakup or something is like, yep, eventually this like intense thing you have for each other will eventually just fade into memories. And then those memories will fade too. Because that's what happens with everything. This experience you're having will slowly fade to a memory, then the memory will fade, and then eventually it's gone too. The guy who was arrested for licking ice cream was like, I don't care, I'm famous now. Yeah, exactly, right? Like that was their whole goal. People who lick toilet seats, they're doing gross, terrible things, so you look at them. They're like, give me attention, I'm screaming for it. By the way, Jacqueline Smith said, triggering socialization is going to the grocery store during peak busy times, anonymous or not, it's a war zone. Oh, honestly, life sucks at peak time. This is the reason that you should never get a real normal job, says the Minecraft YouTuber. Like the most terrifying thing of all in the world, is the fact that when you go to anywhere at peak times, so an example would be, The easiest example is like, think about a theme park at a weekend, or think about a, you know, like, I know, like a school holiday going on a plane or something. It's so busy, and when it's busy, it's worse. And you have to pay more for the privilege. But then think about like roads. Roads are these amazing pieces of infrastructure, except during rush hour, everyone is using them to get to and from work. This is what they're built for, and they're built badly. I delivered a pizza to my neighbor, and it was kind of my regular bud tender. Oh, weed dealer. It was kind of awkward. Don't know if he recognized me, so I don't know how to interact with a human in this situation. Oh, I get you. Like, that took me a while to work out. I thought you, like, ordered one as, like, a thank you. Like, you know, the real thankless peoples of this world are the drug dealers. Anyway, thank you, Salvatore F. It's good to recognize you again. I'm scared of getting a real job. If anyone gets mad at me, I'd cry. I think in most jobs, you just gotta, like, especially retail, it's just you gotta, like, know your ground and know, like, you're being an unreasonable, garbage human. Stop. And you're not allowed to say that, but you can say that. There's no record of you saying that. You being so close to the edges make me feel funny. So if I did this, you would feel funny, is what you're saying. If I do this, you feel a little strange? You feeling weird about this? That's good. That's the correct feeling. Anyway, so, make your title Placing the Void, says Jesse Statler. Great idea. Peak times suck, however concerts festivals can go either way. Oh yeah, the one thing that people love being full, this is weird to me, because, like I mentioned, roads suck during rush hour. Even, like, I catch trains, you know, I go on the London Underground. That sucks at, like, 9 a.m. Actually, it sucks from, like, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then it sucks again from, like, 3:30 through to 5 p.m. Like, you will have... I avoid it at all costs during those times. Which maybe is, like, part of why that works. But anyway, you pay more money because it's called peak time pricing. And then you get an experience of being squashed into someone. Whereas you go any other time, it costs, like, £1.50 for a journey. And also you get whole carriage to yourself. It's amazing. So, yeah, I think the thing that's so interesting is that, like... Peak is worse, right? Where people are makes things worse. Too many people on your train is worse. Too many people on your road is worse. But the weird exception to that rule, that for people, not for me, I despise this, but people love clubs, music venues with as many people as possible. Like, again, the one time we, like, connect to those humans around us seems to be, I don't connect with people. I'm a reluctant people liker. You know, I like people because just like Dietrich Vogel, they give me money. Thank you for the $2. IBX London Cat would be a fitting name for you. No, it wouldn't. That's a terrible idea. But thank you, anyway, for the tip. So it's a parabola. There's a good amount of people in a club, then it becomes too much. I honestly, like, I guess, like, 0 people is bad. Don't get me wrong. And I get, like, I have been into a club with 0 people before. I've got a story about that I should tell sometime, but it might involve some illegal. Now I'm making it sound worse than it is. Like I might have flipped all the furniture upside down, like very gently, but I was like, you know, you sold me tickets to an empty club. I'm gonna put your furniture up the wrong way, and that is the story of why I'm banned from. I think it's called the Cookie Club in Nottingham. There you go. Fun story with Toy Cat. They might have been very aggressive and putting my picture on a wall somewhere. Anyway, so I think that there is a, like, I guess 0 is bad, but like I've never been into especially a pub or a bar where you're just there to speak to, like, I go to places to speak to my friends. I'm not there to speak to strangers. I like the idea of meeting strangers, but like alcohol strangers is not a great way to understand new strangers, right? If I want to get to know strangers, like, you want to meet them in their real life, not in their drunk life or whatever. And now the Cookie Club is closed. Justice. Wait, is the Cookie Club Cookie Club Nottingham. Oh yeah, guess who's... Oh, it's closed for good. Oh, and that's totally the place as well. Wait, chat. Let me show you the place that kicked me out. Put me on their banned list. It was one of Nottingham's oldest and most popular night spots, apparently. So they spent £10,000 relaunching as the retro rooms, and they still sucked. Yeah, that'll teach you for kicking out your clientele. Yeah. You suck. Meeting people in a bar must be only a TV trope. I don't believe that's real. I've met many people in bars, but I've never met like a long-term friend. You meet very short-term people. Like, it's like a business transaction. Like, do you have any social you need a client to do? Oh yes, I have a lot of social. Like, that's how I've always taken bars. Anyway, yeah, you kick Toy Cat out your bar. The bar, it's gonna fail, isn't it? I love that that's true. I find that hilarious. I enjoy that too much. Anyway, so ignoring the pub that actually I guess that was a club. Ignoring the club that dared to cross Toy Cat. Apparently my mum and dad met at a bar. I don't know if I should be mean to strangers on the internet, but it's what I do all the other times. I guess we'll just continue it here. New statistic: 100% of bars that have kicked out Toy Cat have closed. That is factually accurate, actually. I've had a bunch of friends kicked out of places, but it's like you have to like. It's so weird. I've been not let into places because of the state of my friends before as well. But I've been kicked out of one place, and that one place is out of business. Take note, internet. There's a bedrock bug that two players. So there's a bedrock bug. Two players joined via split screen. They have no items. Yeah, is that to do with the beta or is that regular Minecraft? I heard that it was a beta bug, and it's a reminder of like, don't play in the beta. If you've got long-term worlds you care about, and especially if you don't back them up, don't play in the beta. I'm sorry. I know this is the worst thing. Like, it's like I recently lost what I thought was $10,000, and off like, let's call it digital goods. And obviously the first instance is like, oh yeah, should have backed that up. But like, you know, that's not useful to tell. So I feel you in that way. Like, I know I'm giving you basic advice, but I'm not here to save you anymore. You've already failed, Tom Shrosby. I'm giving this advice to everyone else. Do you see that? Do you see how distraught his brother is? Do you want to be like his brother? No. Back up your worlds. Anyway, your green screen's kind of fuzzy. It's been annoying me for so long. It's been fuzzy for forever. I wonder why it's fuzzy. Why are you fuzzy, green screen? It's very slightly fuzzy. Anyway, so get tax. Thank you, Tossed Cart. Like, it feels, I don't even know why it changes. So, like, it changes like every few months too. So it makes it so confusing. Okay, what we're gonna do? We're gonna filter, chroma key, and just make it a little bit stronger. Now my hair is slightly fuzzy. Now my hair is really fuzzy. Oh my god. Why are you like this, webcam? Let's just turn it down 3 notches. Now my hair is very slightly fuzzy, but no one will notice. Please don't notice, internet. Anyway, did you lose Bitcoin you mined when you were 12? I don't think I was 14 when Bitcoin started existing, so no. The green screen's having a tantrum. Anyway, so, do you have a dog toy cat? I don't have a dog toy cat. Thank you for asking, though. Can you show us how much endstone you have in your inventory? I can. Or I could not. A friendship based on Beneath the Loo was never gonna last, says Laura Shoesmith. It's like, yeah, I really feel like, okay, you know what, to insult that guy's parents, like, again, not for him, but for everyone else, I feel like people who meet at bars, like, that's just a way of saying, oh yeah. It's like the, it's the olden school Tinder or whatever. Like, it's like, oh yeah, our thing was that we were both drunk and in the same place and in need of a partner. And, you know, we vaguely fulfilled each other's requirements. So when your parents say they met in a bar, it's them saying, yeah, we just couldn't find people. And we were both drunk and we figured, why not? Or maybe it's like, again, because people find it hard to meet other people. Like, I couldn't meet people without my inhibitions being lowered. Which maybe says something worse about the people than anything else. But, yeah, I've a surprising number of, I don't know. I'm not actually judging. I think there is a certain element to that makes sense. So you can't roast your parents' life decisions. I don't know. I've had a few friends' parents who met in a bar, and it's like, yeah, you can tell that they're just doing the best they can. which is great. Honestly, like, I'm a big fan of arranged marriages. I don't know if I'd get one myself. Like, I'd like an arranged relationship, maybe. That sounds interesting enough. But like, you know, the idea of just being like, yeah, there are lots of things in life that need a person. I don't care that much about finding a person, but I wouldn't mind having a person. Do you want to be my person? There you go. That's all that has to be. Anyway, so why didn't you move your beacon? It says, you know what? I could move my beacon, and then I'd actually get my efficiency too. Honestly, as long as I have the beacon there, people won't complain about me having a beacon, which is 90% of why I ever have a beacon. Also, the key is to buy your stock and then burn down houses. Buy your stock and then burn down houses. I agree with that. Buy Toy Cat stock, burn down houses. Seems pretty weird that, I think that, it's like that thing I was saying, like, I am physically worse off if I don't have some access to people in my life. And I don't want that person to be family. Family is, like, obligation hell. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm jaded on the idea of family right now. Again, I've gone over many times my feelings on family. It's like a great idea, but like, you know, family is as good as an idea of arranged marriage. Family is arranged friendship, right? That's what that is. Family is these people will arrange a friendship for you. Do you want to be, you know, like people say they're friends of their sisters, and it's like, are you friends or were you born from the same two people and therefore have hung out a bunch because of that, you know? So cat, do you have a cat? If so, why not? They're great. I do love cats, Vicky Otter. I don't have a cat because my girlfriend is allergic. My arranged girlfriend. I didn't even arrange my own relationship. Can't believe I would do that to myself. Anyway, I think that, I think the really interesting thing is that, like, yeah, needing people sucks, but you just gotta know, like, how much you need people and why, and, like, work through it, etc. Does that mean she's allergic to you, says Olivewire? Exactly. You understand it. Also, first Toy Cat tax. If scaffolding can prevent you from death, then I recommend using it here. Scaffolding can prevent your death in the sense that you can fall onto scaffolding rather than blocks. You know, this Enderman definitely won't cause me any problems, I bet. Oh god, it's scary. It's very scary. Why do you look so old and young at the same time, mate? I've heard that one a lot, actually. I choose to take it as a compliment. I have like a baby face, but also I have long hair and like stubble or something like that. Also, maybe it's like the skin. It's like not particular. Actually, wait. I guess to have a baby face, you have to have young skin, right? I have a really young face, but a really old everything else. If Toy Cat was a god, his domain would be the human condition. One sec. I need to just check. I got a trillion messages. Oh, it's good. It's just a message about seasons in the cities from 4J Studios. I have a challenge for you, Toy Cat. Replace the entire end island with a grass or dirt. I do like that idea. I have a fun idea I'm doing for my next Let's Play. I'm hoping people enjoy it. Anyway, I've got to remember one of the things about live streaming I'm always bad at. I'm always going to be better at is like knowing when to talk to chat and knowing when not to. And while chat's just talking about cats and you know, like now's the time. Let's take a break, chat. You know what? You're great. I love when you're talking about cats. I just don't think it's an interesting subject. I think you're too emotive about the subject to talk interestingly about it. Like, it's like that thing with, like, you know, I just want to know, why do Irish people produce more babies than Protestants? I don't want to know, you know, your thoughts on the persecution of minorities, or, you know, like, it's all good. That's great. Let's guess how many a trillion messages are. I bet 2. I bet it's at least 7. I bet that's how much that is. Anyway, so I think the really weird thing though isn't it like tragic to know you need something you don't like? Like you know, when I was younger, I think I've always had like a bad relationship with food, like in the sense that I love food. I have a relationship with food like you have a relationship with, I don't know, a lady of the night. I don't know. I think that it's like I love food so much, and isn't it one of the sad things about food is knowing I can only eat so much, and that amount I want to eat is not the amount I actually. Oh God! Oh Lord! But you know, knowing that the amount I can is sad. But even sadder is like, oh yeah, the things you want to eat most are the things you shouldn't eat. Isn't that like one of life's like? Some people aren't like this. Whenever I see someone actually being happy they're eating a salad, I know they're lying. But some people I trust are like, no, salads really are just tastier than burgers or pizza. Yeah, pizza's not even that good. I'd rather just eat a bowl of spinach. It's like you're lying to me and you're lying to yourself. And I don't know which is worse, honestly. Anyway, that's one of the worst things to me is like wanting a thing, not being able to have the thing. I don't like pizza, says Laura Shoesmith. You know, people call me a contrarian, but then I hear takes like that. But yeah, I think it's okay. We're gonna probably lose a lot of this endstone to the void. We're gonna try not to, of course, but that's kind of how it is. Anyway, so I think the weird thing about I think the weird thing about people is knowing it's like the food thing of like, oh no, oh Lord, okay, he's gone. So that could have gone terribly. Okay, I'm just gonna mine it from here. Just gonna leave a lot of blocks. We're gonna have to leave a lot of blocks to the void, but at least they'll be gone. Yep, there we go. That's like positive progress at least. Anyway, are you just trying to freak out your chat? You better believe I am. No, yeah, I don't know. I think it's like one of those sad human condition things that sometimes what you want now is going to come into conflict with what you want later. I had a quote I liked recently, which is like, responsibility today plants the seeds for futures. I think the plants the seeds bit's dumb. We'll ignore that, actually. But, like, responsibility today is what you do so you can have choices tomorrow. Like, you'll always have choices available to you. So many people are convinced their life is ruined, but it's like, your life's... It's not really that ruined, you know? Like, it's gonna be fine. There's very few decisions outside of, like, going to prison. And even going to prison, there are so many organizations that want to, that are, like, down to hire convicts now, even for pretty serious crimes, if they believe that you've changed. Like, there are very few, like, life-endingly bad decisions you can make, I would say, which is good. That's positive progress the world is making.
I'm about 3 months into a terrible breakup that still hasn't been discussed. I can't focus on school or anything I need to. The only thing that helping is other people.
I'm really sorry about that, Contopia. I wonder how 3 months into a breakup that hasn't been discussed. But I'm assuming, you know, again, I don't like to talk about it too much. I never like to feel like I'm beating the horse. I'm assuming you're saying you were ghosted, so like, you don't know that you've been broken up with, it's not been discussed. There's no closure. And if so, I totally feel that. I think, you know, the importance of closure doesn't seem important until it does. Like, why do you need someone to tell you that you broke up? Can't we just not be together and not talk about it? But it doesn't actually work that way, right? Like, you do... It's as fun as an idea as it is when a breakup seems bad or brutal or whatever. You know, the truth is you do need to talk about it. You do need to have that discussion of like, oh yeah, this isn't good. Here's the reasons why. It's all you, but it's really, because it's never really you, because, you know, like, even though it's you, not me, it's really about our interactions with each other and how they don't work for me anymore. Or maybe, honestly, they didn't work for me to begin with. Whatever the brutal, sad situation is, at least you can do something with that. At least, you know, like, every story humans tell has a protagonist and an antagonist. Like, there is some bad force and some good force. Even people who are, like, really upset with, like, I don't know. Like, one of the things that annoys me most, it's like a positive enough message, is people saying F COVID. And it's like, well, sure, I agree, COVID. But, like, surely it should be the realm of decisions that led you to here. You know, whether it's, you know, like, China covering up things and exacerbating global issues, if not downright causing them, or whether it's, you know, the way your country handled it, or whether it's the way the people around you handled it, so that someone in your life had to die. You know, like some person did something wrong at one point, and now, you know, like I kind of understand that, but like the disease as a whole, it's a great unifying message to the point where it doesn't mean anything. But like that's an antagonist at least. Like yeah,
purple and I am the best. Don't look away, cause Toy Katayu will be in a house fire. This is my toy cat tax.
Listen, for I have spoken. Very dramatic. Mine cheated on me after I bought her a new chair that she'd been wanting for months. Man, that's brutal. I've always wondered, like, you know, if there's something you really need from your partner, and then like, you know, you're about to break up, but you're like, oh, but then I won't get the thing. You know, that's gotta be a conflict people go through very regularly, right? I would guess even, okay, this is Toy Cat the Cynic. I would guess that some people even like, they think that like, yeah, as soon as this thing happens, I'm gonna break up. And then maybe some relationships, marriages, whatever, don't break up. Because by the time it gets there, they're like, you know what? I think we can work through this now. You know, maybe stuff. Maybe buying each other chairs. I guess, I mean, in your girlfriend's case, it sounds like it just worked out as her deciding, oh, what if I had all the benefits of this relationship, but also all the benefits of a new one, and I just didn't tell either person about it. Anyway, I think it's a very interesting. One sec. I think ooh, melon juice. So are we talking about relationships? Lame. Let's talk about us. Awesome. Did you guys know that if you are not subscribed to the IBX Toy Cat channel, there is a greater than 90% chance that a house fire will happen to you? More than 99% of house fires happen to people who aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel. But no, so yeah, like, we need like an antagonist in every tale. But someone who's not there can't be an antagonist. It's tragic, and that's why it sucks. But like, you know, like, no one's really ever that mad about their, like, you know, when you're adopted, one of the great things about being adopted, is this an okay thing to say? Yeah, let's roll with it. I've always found there to be a certain interestingness of adoption. Because your parents aren't there, so that sucks on, like, the ghost level. But, like, you can imagine them to be good or bad, depending on the circumstance. They were bad because they abandoned you, sure. That was probably the worst thing they did. I mean, is every set of adopted children abandoned? Maybe as a debate for another day. But there's, like, a certain interest in, like, yeah, if you're adopted, you get to, like... Yeah, you get to, like, look at your parents and be like, yeah, they were the best people ever. There's this British TV show called Tracy Beaker. I don't know why I really liked it, but, like, she always used to imagine her mother as this great figure. And then you saw flashbacks to what her childhood was actually like. And it's, like, this really sad house where she was neglected. But, like, she went past that in her mind, and I'm sure there's a bunch of issues in, like, misremembering the past to make...
selected Microsoft Samantha as the computer default voice. Keep up the good work, Toy Cat.
Is this Microsoft Samantha? I wonder. Also, I'm banking on this house fire protection because I'm running a ceramics kiln in my garage that's literally about 2,000 degrees right now. See, that's terrifying. Honestly, heat terrifies me. Every time I deep fry, I get, like, an extreme fear of death. Because once I went to cool down my oil, and I put a bunch of cold water in it, and it, like, exploded everywhere. Maybe burning some things in the process. And I'm like, oh yeah, heat is bad. Heat on the human skin will cook you alive. And that's not good. Anyway, what if your parents die in a house fires because they weren't subscribed to IBX Toy Cat, then you're adopted, you weren't abandoned, right? You know what, your parents were idiots for not subscribing to IBX Toy Cat if you're adopted and they died in a house fire. That's what that is. Please bring back the Aussie text-to-speech for April Fool's Day stream. I didn't realize it at the time, but April Fool's Day is when I'm streaming with Olraf. You might know him as the Minecraft developer behind many great things such as archaeology. Why would you ever put water in hot oil? How are you alive? I know, yeah. I mean, I wanted to cool down the hot oil because it was hot and scary, but apparently water doesn't do that. Apparently, it was like a lot of hot oil too. It was a lot of very hot oil. It exploded all over my kitchen. Like, literally, it was like multiple explosions. Needless to say, I am not a smart person. Also, there's that time. It's on a YouTube live stream. I cooked some. I cooked some. What's the word? I cooked some jelly in a deep fry because I learned to deep fry from my American friend Kit Kat. She's been gone a while, but gone but not forgotten. So I put some jelly in there, and you can watch this on YouTube. I don't know what the video's called, but it's terrifying because I don't know what's happening because I didn't know jelly's mostly water, and it's just bubbling and exploding, and I'm just like, oh god, explosions don't make me feel good. And anyway, what I learned from that is that you do not want explosions. If you ever need to be fired from a kitchen job, just throw an ice cube in the freezer. Why would throwing an ice cube in the freezer? Oh, in the fryer. Oh, right. That makes way more sense than a freezer. I remember the deep fried jelly stream. I remember bad mistakes as well. I make a lot of those, huh? I make a lot of those. Whew. I'm very almost finished with the melon juice now. It's very tasty. As a bad cook, I'll take note of that. Yeah, I think the water and oil thing needs to be like drilled into you 100 times, because otherwise you will forget. Like I knew it every time, but like also it doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. I'm honestly like, I make so many mistakes with so many things. It's terrible. I just prevented a house fire, says Edge Gaming. Hey, thank you for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. In this lonely world, having people subscribe to the channel is all I have. Honestly, some places might fire you throwing an ice cube in the freezer. Yeah, I was thinking like, is it like because it's not purified ice? What's the scoop with that, huh? It's weird how you can break your fall in a waterlogged stair, but if you die if you land in a water cauldron. Oh, yeah, there's a fun hook for a video at some point. I love weird facts like that. Also, Bob the Fish. Are you still dating the American girl? She is in fact alive, as best I know. I do believe I am dating her. Yeah, but like, so to go back to the person who's, Contopia Gaming. Was it Contopia? Without gaming. It was Contopia. I think it really sucks not having an antagonist for a story. Like, if it's just things suck and now you, like, this is why when something bad happens to people, they fight against the bad thing. Have you ever noticed whenever there's like, oh yeah, this child died of like, you know, mortal leukemia. It's like, yeah, we're raising awareness for mortal leukemia. Nothing. The same thing that happened to our daughter shouldn't happen to other people. And they feel like by fighting the thing, they're fixing it. Like you can't bring the child back.
I grew up with my dad, and my son spends time with his. It prevents us imagining everything would have been great had they been there. My mom did that with her dad, who died when she was 4.
I think that, one sec. Prevents us imagining... I didn't follow that correctly. My mom did that with her dad, who died when... It prevents us imagining everything that would have... Are you... So I can say... I hope I'm not getting this wrong. I think I can say that, like... my stomach is really warm. You know, like, can we talk about side effects of weird things? Like, everyone has, like, I feel like I get, like, a tiniest bit of Asian flush. But also, like, I just feel like this intense warmness inside me. It's like one of those very few, just extremely positive benefits to throwing warm things in your body. Although it's very cold, actually. In fact, isn't it so weird that, like, ice-cold liquid can burn when it goes inside you? I'm glad you're getting on well together. Yeah, we're about to move to America together. Before moving back to the UK for the house that I'm buying currently. And to answer your question, Mother Russia, everything seems to be going well enough right now. I've got all the maths covered for the next 2 years. And everything's, like, fine. It was so scary in there because, like... I don't like relying on future months' income to pay for things that I've committed to today. The most stressful thing that people do to me... Like, this is, like, bad finance, but it's also, like, bad mental health decision, is debt. If you buy a car, and that car has to be paid off over 52 months, or whatever the heck it is, or you buy a sofa that has to be paid off over 12 months, it's like, I get the nice thing now, and then I pay for the nice thing later. Do you know what hurts? Paying for things. Do you know what's nice? Having things. You know, like you're moving like the bad result from the thing you're enjoying now into the future. That's probably one of the reasons I don't enjoy like most like I don't enjoy most things that you could mind-altering experiences, or whatever you want to say, because it's basically the same thing. You just borrow. You can't create new. I think it's dopamine. The way most of those things work is you borrow your dopamine receptors work over time, and then you just get really sad for a bit. I forget what it's called. There's a professional term for it, but people ingest something to their body, and then it's like, I'm gonna feel really sad for about 3 days, but in exchange, I'm gonna feel amazing today. You know, drinking is just borrowing happiness from tomorrow, and there are things that can do that for more than just tomorrow. Dopamine printer, don't go brr. I think the thing we're all trying to work out in life is how to make the dopamine printer go brr. That is a good way of saying it. It's supposed the fun of having things that you can never forget that you still owe something. Yeah, the one thing in life that like you have to borrow money for, and even then it's like it's not great, but it's like the best it can be, is a house. Because at least a house, you've got this thing that at any point you can sell and probably get more money for than you paid it. People will make that excuse up about sofas. No, it's not true. They'll make that excuse up about cars. No, unless you buy a really rare car. In general, most cars lose a bunch of value. You're just sitting in a machine that's losing value as fast as you're paying for it. Whereas buying something outright is like, yeah, I own this thing now. It doesn't... I bought an electric scooter. Doesn't matter if that thing broke tomorrow. In fact, I literally can't legally use my electric scooter until August of this year, maybe later. They're talking about spending an extra year to review the data, which, by the way, means that you can rent the... It's dumb. I want to talk about that some other time. But, like, it's it's really, really dumb the way that we do laws. But, like, I might be not using that for a year. And if I was paying that off every month, I'd be like, oh, it hurts again and again. Whereas it hurt once, and now it's fine. I own the thing. It's great. People ask why you can't print new money, but the real question is, why can't you print new dopamine? Paleontologists lock stones to identify whether they're fossils or not. Anyway, yeah, I think Scootergate. It's only the UK too. The worst bit is, I know that in America I can buy a scooter just fine, and it's A-OK legal. But here in the UK, like, ooh, you know, I hope you're renting that thing. Oh, you're not renting it and giving a company 7p a minute? You monster. How dare you try to be more sustainable with products by... You, oh, disgusting. Get back in a petrol-producing car, you monster. Review the data, you mean collecting an absurd amount of fines. I actually would like to know, like, because I know the fines just go back into the budget. By the time this year is out, they'll have fined thousands of scooters. And, like, even at £50 a fine, that's, like, 50,000. Like, the sad thing is like, to a governmental department, that's nothing. I'd love to know what they're going to do with it. Like, if I would feel less bad if it's like, oh yeah, we built a nice garden with all these fines. It's like, okay, I paid for that garden. I paid the Metropolitan Police of London tax. And I got a nice garden from it. Attach a horse to your scooter to make it legal. I am totally sticking to that as my plan for the future. By the way, thank you, Vico2UT. Your name is very confusing, but also thank you, Miss Pat Van Driving Lady. You know, I know that you mean that you drive a van, but I always take that as like you're Dutch.
Awful, especially watching it go up and trying to predict the month where you go bankrupt. Also, clearly should not get deep with toy cat when melon juice is involved.
Oh, I am having a great stream today. I actually do think there's an interesting premise behind, like, I have a tweet in my drafts that's so relevant to that. Tweet it. Do it. You won't tweet. I bet you won't. Anyway, Toy Cat, can you challenge trying to get every possible mob from museum? Oh, I actually had that planned. Do you want me to show you? Wait, one sec. I have a project called All Mobs. I've been doing it forever. Oh no, I literally deleted it because I was like, I really liked the idea, but it's so boring in reality. It's going and finding a mob and spending 20 minutes hauling it back. Going and finding another mob, hauling it back. It's so boring. That'll be 3 tweets in the same day. I can't possibly. I'm glad you keep your social media output under control. I dropped out of school the other week and I'm trying to make progress. in life, and I hope to find a job within the next year or so. I'm excited for you, Funcat1. I hope you find a job of some form that you would like. Okay, I'm going to go put down another... Oh god, there's another Enderman following me. Another batch of endstone away. And we're going to do this. It's going to be wonderful. Rare mobs, rework scale. You should collect every item too. I actually do like the idea of collecting every collectible block in survival. I actually did that somewhat recently. Actually, yeah, every item isn't that bad of an idea when you put it by comparison. I don't know, there is a certain, like, enjoyment to that idea, I guess. You know what, every item, let's do it. Can you, Chantal, give me a list of every item in Minecraft. Give me a big, this is what every item in Minecraft looks like. It's a square. Okay, so what items can't we get? We can't get a dragon egg. Oh, what? I'd argue the dragon egg is a block. So I can do every type of firework we can't do. We can do fireworks as a category. I'm glad this spreadsheet already exists. Why do you think Minecraft works is so satisfying while IRL work isn't? I think Minecraft work has very clearly definable objectives and also very clearly definable output. When you do, like, when people ask you to do real life work, it's always something dumb that should, like, you know what sucks? Like de-weeding a garden, because you know the weeds are just gonna grow back. You know what sucks? Cleaning a bathroom. At least I live in the southeast of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. We have, like, some of the hardest water in the world. It just, like, I get limescale every 3 months. I clean the limescale, it's really annoying. Then it just comes back. If you love your job, every day is as short as a Minecraft day. See, that, but unironically, right? Like, so many people's, like, biggest demon, their biggest struggle, their biggest, like, haunting point. Okay, I'm worried about this, but I can do it. I should have done that. I don't want to do that again. Oh, that was too much. Can't do it. It's not to think about, but this internet cat has known my existence for a year now. Oh yeah, I was answering the so the house thing. It's the most terrifying purchase of my life. I have to transfer a 6-digit amount of money to pay for deposit, taxes, and legal fees and stuff. Which is more money than I can imagine. Like, I literally can't picture, like, that's not an amount of money I ever have, but I have to have it and then give it to someone, and it's whatever. It's weird. And so, but like, I think everything works out. I think the numbers are all good, and it's wonderful. I'm excited. So, yeah, if you could learn a language, which one would it be? If I had to learn a language, I guess I could learn a language. Spanish seems the most logical. There are so many countries in South America I just can't visit because I don't speak Spanish, and they don't, like, see English as valuable enough to, like, dual sign everything. So, I think, first thing I hear when I'm coming on a stream is taxes. You know what? People don't tell you how much taxes suck. People talk about government revenue like it's this magical thing. Like, everyone's like, why doesn't the government just give everyone money? And it's like, if the government gives everyone money, that means the government's gonna take money from everyone. And then they're gonna give it to people. It's not, it doesn't come from nowhere. And, like, it's okay. It's like, it's fine for us to decide that some things are externalities that we cannot produce without taxation. But also, it's like, oh, yeah. I saw a guy be like, you know what? Rather than the government telling us we shouldn't go on holidays, we should all get £5,000 to go on holiday as a thank you for the COVID-19 thing. It's like, no, you misunderstand. We borrowed £200 billion during this. I don't think you understand how money works. It doesn't, like, this like old 45-year-old man. I'm gonna guess older than 45. It just had the understanding of, like, yeah, I think because I want something, that's how it should be. It's like, but that's like, it's great to want that, but it's sad to expect that, you know? Like, I think there's a there's a really interesting thing to me that we often work out so many things in life. Like, we work out what we want, and then we work backwards from that. And that's like, that's great. But some people don't even work backwards. They work out what they want, and then they're like, that thing that I want should happen. And you're like, how? I like, don't care. It's not my problem. I want the thing. Make it happen. Georgia Ann says, hey, I'm finally here. It's good to see you, Georgia Ann. So I think it's really interesting that, like, because it's always so brutal to be like, oh yeah, so here's what reality is. Let's work backwards from reality and work out how to make reality better for everyone in it. And I was like, oh, don't you know reality is like this disgusting place? Don't you know how unequal reality is? And how sexist reality is? And how homophobic reality is? I can't believe that you want reality. It's like, well, I don't want reality. We have reality. You think reality is the situation? No, 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 no. And it's like, but I'm just trying to say that's what it is. We can improve what it is, and we can work out the plans to improve it if you want to actually go there. But you can't just say, here is my magic improvement plan. I'm going to wish that everything becomes okay, and then it will become. My dream in life is a perfect custom home made by me, so I became an architect. I would love, okay, I think a thing I would really love. How much money would you be paid to forget English? Oh, I would not, for any amount of money, I wouldn't forget English. I think English is like the communicatory language of the world. I think we speak this language, and if most of you are native English speakers, and so you probably don't appreciate that, like, yeah, you happen to live in a country that speaks English? Wow, me too. What a coincidence. Again, what a coincidence is like idealistic thinking. The reason it happens, probably terrible. It's to do with the fact that, hey, did you know? You know, let's be provocative. We're allowed to. I drank some melon juice. My country invaded your country at some point, and therefore you speak English. Like, a bad thing happened, and that bad thing led to us being able to communicate. I had no part in that bad thing. I'm not even directly from... most of my descendants are not from the country I live in. Most of your descendants aren't from the country you live in. But you live in a country that at some point was invaded by the country that I live in. And at some point, a few hundred years ago, that country invaded your country. And as a result, we speak a common language. And so we can talk about Minecraft, or the existential threat of not having an antagonist in your life, or any of these things. Can't relate, says Mother Russia. Look up the Crimean War. Are you from a country that you don't... Are you from a country you think the British didn't invade? Allow me to explain how the British did in fact invade your country. Right now. Irish. Don't make it too easy for me, ICL Jack. Don't make it too easy for me. Oh yeah, the Irish. I don't think the British have ever done a bad thing in Ireland. Yeah, it's hard to come up with examples. I mean, if we exclude the 19th, the 18th, the 17th, the 15th, the 16th, and the 21st centuries, then yeah, you know, there's nothing in common. I question whether we share a common language. Greece. If I'm not mistaken, Greece has been under direct British control, if not assistance, several times. Or we could argue the financial conquest of the Greek debt deal, the Greek austerity debt deal thing. New Zealand. Ooh, I wonder when the UK invaded New Zealand. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. St. Vincent and the Grenadines was a British colony until like the 60s, and then the Americans invaded. So you got invaded once by an English-speaking country, and then another time by another English-speaking country. There was the colony again. Like we're so colony happy. Our colonies make colonies. What do we got here? We got Sweden. I want to say the UK has never officially invaded Sweden, but if you look into, I want to say, like, by technicality, some land somewhere owned by Sweden was invaded by the UK. I want to say it's like one of their weird overseas territories they used to have, like I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, the 13 colonies included land that used to be Swedish land. Well, let me find it. New Sweden. So the Delaware River, which is roughly what Delaware is today, and Wilmington, Delaware used to be a part of Sweden, but it was conquered by the Dutch, and then later the Dutch colony was conquered by the English. Second-hand conquered. We conquered the people who conquered you. Therefore, Swedish were invaded by the British. Poland. during... Oh, actually, Poland, I'm not so sure about. I want to say that might be a lot more recent. That might be like World War... Oh, I want to say World War II. The British signed a treaty where we would invade Germany, were the Poles to be under attack. And then the Poles were under attack, and we were like, we'll get right to that war thing ASAP. We declared war on Germany, but we didn't do anything about it. And we let Warsaw fall. So by proxy of not invading the country invading you, we let you fall. Therefore, Poland, boom, basically invaded. This is weak justification. You can't talk too positively about the UK. Second channel video content. I think it'd make a great video, just like explaining how my country invaded your country. But yeah, like I think it sucks. Like it's funny because that is an objectively terrible thing, right? Like especially if you look in defending colonialism is a thing. You're not gonna find anyone who's like, yeah, actually, it was great. Instead, you're just gonna find like, well, I mean, it led to the birth of the modern day miracle that we call society. I'm not like world society, maybe. I think America invaded Poland, saving from the Nazis. Anyway, so with that said, Chile. Oh, Chile's an easy one as well, right? I want to say... Oh, I want to say, technically speaking, the UK has its military bases in what is officially Chile's land. Because of, the UK and Chile don't agree over who owns which bit of Argentina. Oh, sorry, which bit of Antarctica. Did you know the UK is the biggest supplier of Independence Days to the world? I did know that, yeah. I want to say it's 53 countries have an Independence Day that's celebrated from the UK. I'm just saying, do you know it's how you get a day off work? You're welcome. You're welcome, friends. I'll give you, do you want more days of work? Just let us recolonize you and then have another independence. It's pretty easy to get independence these days. Oh god. You can tell I'm very good at Minecraft. Anyway, so I want to finish my previous point. Whatever it was, I'm sure it mattered because I was saying it. What are you doing with all the end stone you're collecting? Says Jackie Ann. I'm gonna be placing it in my ocean. It's gonna be beautiful. You're gonna love it. Actually, wait, it was from the Let's Play yesterday. One of the things I worry about in the Let's Play is people being like, "Oh, are you okay?" Like, I need to calm down the Let's Plays, I guess. They need to be more very serious. Which country Britain didn't invade? Says my Russia. I want to say Mongolia. Maybe Uzbekistan. Although you could argue Uzbekistan was part of the USSR, which not so fair. Therefore, so Mongolia. Like probably like Morocco. That sounds correct. Yeah, Iceland. There we go. Oh, actually, I want to say the Allies invaded Iceland to take it over. I'm sorry. It was like a friendly invasion. It was like, we're gonna invade you so hard now you can't be neutral anymore. Anyway, with that said, thank you very much for the tip, Contopia. Do you think corporate imperialism is possible? Like how Disney owns everything now? Yeah, I do think that is the next phase of the world. I think American culture is so widely exported. Like, are we not right now? Correct me if you disagree. Are we not right now talking on an American website? And did I not just get paid in American dollars? It got converted to pounds, but it's American dollars. And my favorite food is from an American chain, McDonald's, or maybe Five Guys. I like Five Guys more, but like McDonald's is easier to... McDonald's is easier and more widely available, faster, more efficient menu. Man, I want McDonald's so bad. But yeah, basically I gonna stay on track. I think that Five Guys is peak food. I agree, Contopia. It's objectively peak food. I think that there is a real like export from the United States. And that is that. Is cultural export the same as colonialism? I mean, I don't know for sure. I think the US would rather you say no. And I think the answer is probably closer to no than yes. But is it like fully no? I don't know about that. That seems kind of inaccurate. So yeah, this reminds me of your second channel editing thing. Yeah, I thank you, Dodgem. Oh wait, Dodgem, by the way, you're not This is me being very unprofessional and discussing professional matters in the middle of a stream. But, you lose money from all those conversions. Pounds, $2 to pounds again. I want to say if you tip me pounds via YouTube, it does literally go pounds to dollars to pounds again. And it's gotta hurt. But if you tip pounds via Streamlabs, it just goes straight to me in pounds. Which I like. Oh god, I need to be more careful. I am losing capacity to be careful. Anyway, so, yeah, I think it's definitely possible and real. And a thing. But yeah, we guess who finally invaded my place again? The big boy. I'm so happy he's here. I'm so happy for everyone getting their long boys finally. Like, I am in love with, like, people being excited for a thing that I've done. The long boy 2 was like this real, like, oh, I don't know. Like, especially because I'd done the regular toy cat thing. I was like so worried, and then we hit it, and it was. I know it's one of those cool things. I'm glad I did it. I don't know if we're gonna do it for a long time, ever again. But having like a limited time thing that shows you were subscribed to this channel this time, it's something I value so much more than like if I could still sell Longboys. I've had so many requests to buy Longboys, and it's like no, that time when it's there, you can buy it if you want to. If it's not there, you know, find it from someone else if you really want to. That technically speaking. I'm sure someone will say they're secondhand, but otherwise, no. Did you make the Longboy for its existence or for the money? I think any YouTuber who says they make things solely for one of those two things or the other is slightly lying. I think when you work in a artistic field, there are things like it's hard to be excited about things that aren't fun. And the Longboy to me was like fun. It was like this cool product we were gonna make real. My boss caught me watching against this chunky 9. Just say that it's educational content. It technically is. Okay, let's talk educational facts, everyone, just for a minute. So the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain, and the main was sunken not by Spain, but rather by the man in the plane, and the plane belonged to the United States Marines. Anyway, with that said, how much would y'all pay? You have someone else watching at work right now. I see. Right. Wait. Actually, you're not Jacqueline. So you're an architect, apparently. I believe you. She sent me a verification with proof, so we're gonna trust her for now. Unless, here's the annoying thing: the sort of person who really wants you to believe that there's something would also be the sort of person who would fake the proof. That's the worst thing about people, right? You cannot trust people as much as you want to. As much as you like the people and you want to trust them, you just don't know until it's too late. Does this count as me watching it work, says Chantal X Lee? I'm gonna take it. But, I think that, staying focused. I will get there. I think, you know, what do I think? I don't think many things, do I? I think the word I think a lot. It's one of those, like, good filler words for, like, big thoughts that take a while to, like, orient in my brain. I'd love to custom build a house. One of my big regrets is I'm buying land in London that I can't build a house on. I would love... The US Navy uses Xbox controllers to operate periscopes. That's a fun fact, Vicky Otters. But I would love to custom build a house. That's like my dream. That I can't live just yet. But like one day, that's the plan, right? I would love to have like a custom built house that's just for me. Because you know that in the UK, actually, you know, this shocked me about America. People see houses in America as like used and therefore worthless. And that's like beyond hilarious to me. Like, oh, someone else has lived here before. That's not as good. And I see the kind of appeal to like a new house. Don't get me wrong. I understand it. I would do it if I could. But, do you have any unobtainable blocks? I have the update block, but like, not because I tried. It just kind of was there. I would love to design my own house because okay, here's the thing. Everyone when they're looking for a house is just like, ooh, what I would do is I would have a big open staircase, an open plan. And they'll just say like garbage, like words that just mean things. Can't believe they say words that mean things. But what I would do is I'd be like, this bookcase is going to spin and it's going to be a door. You might say that's impossible, sir. You're going to make it happen. That's what you're going to do. I want to have a secret passageway between the kitchen and the dining and the living room. I want to have like a passageway between the house and the nearest. I want to have a bunch of dumb houses in America are built to last a lot less than European houses. See, here's the thing though. Why are European houses built to last? Like, the house I live in right now was built for a, it's called like a Victorian worker terrace. Let me confirm that's what it's called. Victorian worker terrace. So, 11 things you will know if you live in a Victorian terrace. Wait, chat, I'm gonna do this with you. Let's see if I know the things that I should know because I live in a Victorian terrace. Okay, thing number 1. Everyone will describe your house as cute or cozy. Chat, is my house cute or cozy? Let me know right now. Watch my house tour first if you haven't seen it. 2, you'll have to apologize to guests on behalf of your doors. Traditional Victorian cottage doors are about 6 feet high. My door is too tall. I've never had anyone have to apologize. Those who remove period features from their home must be exiled. I disagree, but apparently. Do I want my home to be warm or authentic? Okay, I don't understand these things. I'm so confused. Sometimes it feels like you live in the same house as your neighbors. This I do agree with. It's so weird to go around someone's house from further down the street and it's exactly the same as yours. Just like flipped sometimes. It's creepy. Nobody should underestimate the power of goods. Oh wait, no, that's not the point they're making. This is worthless. Although this is the funniest one. My bathroom is not a square. It's a slight oblong. And you can't spot it because it's so subtle. They built it by hand. And they didn't think to, like, measure corners. I'm so confused. Why would anyone be like that? Anyway, with enough money, anything is possible. Here's money towards your custom house. Thank you, Jessica Forsyth. That is my, like, long-term goal. The thing is, like, I know I can't have a custom house anywhere too exciting in London. And that, like, makes me sad. So I settle for having a house that I can live in and invest in or whatever. How do you plan on handling your channel when you start to get older? I guess the plan is like if it ever becomes true that like, you know, a 30-year-old man can't run a Minecraft channel, then I'll transition to other channels. Right now the smart players make another channel rather than switch the content on your existing channel. You can make renovations. To get a loan for a custom house, the bank has to approve of the plans, says Daniel A. See, that's the thing, right? I need to get the money in cash. So I guess I'd have to sell a house. You know, my current house is a lot of money. Like, once I've paid it all off in full, sell the house, have straight cash, then I can buy a dumb house that has secret passageways or whatever. See, it sometimes feels like things in life. Like, again, I can see why people feel like you're not in control of your life sometimes. If you want to have your own home, like everything that you do has to be approved by someone when it comes to houses. There's the bank that has to approve it. The government has to approve it for the sake of like valuations and stuff. If you want to change, like I want to change my house to have a bigger window. Have I mentioned this? I want to change the windows of my house to be glass instead of, I think it's roof or whatever right now. Like I want to change one of the rooms in my house. I have to get extensive planning permission from the local government, who will bring a person round and be like, will that ruin the views from anyone else's houses? Okay, it won't. But, like, do we want it in our neighborhood? And then, like, yeah. And then the bank has to go, ooh, you're altering the house that you're using as collateral. Like, there's so many steps to, like, just changing a thing that you own. And it sometimes makes you feel like, wow, you're not in control of anything. These, you know, you're not deciding in life. You are. Buy a Victorian house in the US, then customize that inside. They're all roomy here and rather cheap. Yeah, I think it's that thing about Americans like seeing used houses as inferior. Why don't more houses have secret rooms or passageways? I don't get. Yeah, I would be so hyped to buy a house with a secret passageway. I think what it is though is it's just like if you have space in a house, rather than making it secret, you want it to be public and to share it with everyone. In my dream, my home is private enough I don't have to deal with neighbors. This is something I'm bringing up in a future video. I finally did that I'm building your comments video. I'm very excited. Please watch it. Any millionaire that doesn't have secret passageways in the house is wasting their money. I agree with you, Laura Shoesmith. I agree with you. But yeah, the weirdest thing to me is, I don't mind moving into a used house. I find used house to be such a funny phrase. It's like, don't you mean house? Anyway, I think the weirdest thing about it is how, like, out of control you can feel, like, in your own life sometimes. I think there's so much of the world that makes you believe that. Like, if you work a job that, like, barely pays your rent, you spend most of your week working so that you can afford to own a place that allows you to keep working. Like, I think a problem with modern society, this is one of those things I don't like talking about because there's the weird group of people on the internet that will say, like, Great Reset. You're like, I don't believe that there's a group of evil kleptocrats that control society that make this all happen. I think this is like a consequence of systems that just seems evil because, again, we need someone to seem evil. So when society goes bad, we need someone to blame. And some people will blame, like, a group of global bankers getting together. The way I see it is, like, it is so much... One of the easiest ways to make money is to buy something and then to rent that thing to someone else. Like, you make money for owning a thing, and as long as there is no chance that you won't stop owning the thing, it's basically printing money. It's called rent sinking. It's actually one of the biggest problems in economics. Like, the easiest way to make money is not to build a new river, but to take an existing river and to put a, you know, like, put a ribbon across it, or like a rope or something. This actually happens in, like, Guatemala. You can look into it. But, like, put a rope across the road, stop cars going through that road, or, like, damage them, or, like, garrote them, or whatever, unless they pay you some tiny amount of money. So now you have zero of the costs, but you get actual money for dealing with it, right? Also, Toycat's House Reno, 4th channel, don't care. Toycat's House Reno, question mark. Speaking of Reno, Toycat Life Ramble, says Michelle Ower. I think so many systems in our life, like, conspire around that way. And then so many people, like, I think when we normalize, like, again, there's I think I mentioned, like, okay, buying a house on debt is, like, tragic, but, like, sure, we should normalize that as, like, acceptable, but not ideal. If you somehow have the money to buy a house without going into any debt, you are shockingly rich, and I admire you. That's great. Renovation. Hey, that's what it is. Thank you for the house reno. I do, in fact... I have a really cool one planned. I want to share it, but it's gonna, like, I want to make my house distinctive, which is a problem because you can't modify your house to make it too distinctive. But I like a weird, I really like the idea of having a weird house that makes people go, why do you live here? The more people go, why did you do this? The happier I am with what I have. That's my dream emotion. Like, you know, I don't know why. I don't know why I like people's confusion. I bet there's some, like, really sad reason when you dig into it. Like, well, you see, when you were 5, you know, your parents would yell at you all the time. And the one time they wouldn't yell is when they were just confused of you. And therefore, now you want to confuse strangers on the internet. But I would love to just... I feel like it's actually a contrarian thing. Like, I would just enjoy beyond all belief. I'm gonna have a little more melon juice, I've decided. What I would enjoy beyond all belief is just having a little... I would enjoy having a house that people look at and they go, not for me. That's what I want. America doesn't have infinite money because the government does not wait to everyone to have infinite money because then they have infinite food, meaning they'll stop paying taxes. A fun fact, America's actually a weird exception to that rule. It's because of the, I forget the term for this, but you can look into it. It's called, I forget the word. It's like dollarization or something. Because the dollar is pegged to exports outside the United States, they can devalue the dollar as much as they like. As long as they don't look like they're devaluing the dollar, all of those transactions will still take place in dollars, giving a fixed demand for the dollar as a currency. Whereas the reason that, like, the Venezuelan peso, or is it called the peso? It's probably called the bolivar. Yeah, it's the bolivar, isn't it? The Venezuelan bolivar, or like the Zimbabwean dollar, like, they devalued because no one wanted those current. As soon as everyone heard what was happening, they're like, I'm not touching this currency with a barge pole. Whereas the dollar, it doesn't matter how worthless a dollar is, it's still the way you pay your taxes and your rent and everything else. Have you been tempted to dupe items, says Narwhal08X? Oh, not even in the slightest. Like, I think that removing the items from your world to get them is like half as beautiful as actually having them, you know? That's the way I take that, at least. Anyway, turn view bobbing off for the rest of the stream, lol, says David Kidich. You know what? I was gonna do it. Then I realized I bet I can make at least $3 saying, hey, give me $3, I'll turn off view bobbing. That's my this is Toy Cat when he drinks too much melon juice becomes an entrepreneur. And I realized, wait a minute. I can make money for doing things that I enjoy. Does that make me a lady of the night? A Minecraft YouTuber of the night? I would say yes. But you might disagree. No, but yeah, I think there's a also well, you're wrong, Toy Cat. I can buy a house in my Eastern European country if I work for 3 years in the UK. Yeah, I'm really happy for people. Like, this is the counter opinion of the average. I'm so happy for people who have a country where the standard of living is lower than the UK and have a way to get to the UK. Because you can move here and earn like 5 years of, well, it's more like 2 or 3 years of salary for every year you work here. That's incredible. I would love if there was a country that was 3 times richer than the UK on average. Like, the closest you get is America, where the average salary is like double as high. But then you gotta pay for health insurance, and even though I pay God knows how many tens of thousands a year in health insurance because of how, you know, collective health insurance actually works. It's still like, you know, the costs aren't equal, and also living in America feels like more of a powder keg than any other country. Like, it's been fine for the last 200 years, so I'm wrong, I guarantee. But America just feels like an unstable country in a way I can't describe living in the UK. Turning off view bobbing on Bedrock right now turns off camera shake. Turning off camera shake alone does nothing. Huh. Also, melon juice is the secret to getting secret passages. You know what? That's what it is. I just need to drink enough. I'll drink Midori until I cannot. I'll drink Midori until I cannot find. If you think about it, if you drink enough Midori, you won't be able to find the regular passageways in your house, and they'll seem like secret passageways. I have a shameful admission, chat. I don't like to share this. I don't like to admit it. But I feel a little bit like more emotionally happy with the thing. You know, like, it's sometimes in life, we get so caught up with, like, what's happening next. We forget what we have now. And one of the few things I enjoy about pounding some melon juice with my good friends, the internet chat. I think the really interesting thing about that is that you get to enjoy and realize, like, oh, yeah, there's so many things now that are great that I just don't think about, and that's nice. That's nice to enjoy that. Also, David Solomano says I hang out with a bunch of people from different parts of the political spectrum, and we're all worried about civil war. You know what? Controversial take. America's not going to have a civil war. What's going to happen, in my estimation, one part of America, one city, not your city probably, statistically, I mean, possibly your city, which I think is New York based on your emails. One part of one city will have a tragic event in the next 5 years. I'm not going to say it's like 9/11 scale. It's going to be like, there's going to be a giant riot, and, you know, like, kind of like Minnesota had last year. Are you ashamed of being happy? Yeah, being happy is like a shameful thing. Like, if you're happy, you're acknowledging that all the problems in the world don't matter to you, and you're just content with where you are. The internet does not like when you're happy. The internet likes moments of pleasure. Oh yeah, I'm really happy that I have that me and the American girlfriend are doing well, and that we're going to be living in America for a bit. I'm so happy that I managed to find a house that's gonna be great for me, etc. Those things are you're allowed to feel happiness for the moment, but realizing that those things are let me find the words for this better. You're allowed to feel happiness in the moment, Sure, 100%. But like feeling long-term happy is not how you make good social media content. That's not how you make things that people relate to. I'd say Instagram's the only social media where happiness is glorified. And I'd say over-glorified. We're like, oh yeah, you spend all of your life by the beach, I bet, based on your Instagram photos where you are by the beach. That's nice. But yeah, I think my grand prediction is America's gonna have some medium scale thing. That's how you make children's content. That is how you make children's content. Everything is always happy all the time. No, I think appreciating like things are sad, and I do my best to make them better. That's like always my goal when things are sad. Like I never like to. One of the things I realized really early on social media is like if you share something bad, you're just putting badness into the world. But if you're doing bad and it's like, and here's how I intend to be better, it's like almost a motivational beacon to people. Like, I am bad. I hope one day I too can be better. And that seems stupid. America are become Texas, says Michelle Owo. America are become Texas. I agree. But yeah, I know, I'm just, in the next 2 weeks, I've got a lot of videos to make. Imagine Teletubbies saying they've been feeling depressed lately. I need to make children's content. You won't get away with it, that's the problem. I want to make, like, children's cartoons that are, like, existentialist. And are like, what is the need or the reason for any of this? Anyway, I've got plenty of durability in this pickaxe. I know chat gets concerned whenever it comes up. Thank you for your concern. Why is chat never concerned about the good things, though? Why are we ever concerned like, Toy Cat, you're doing such a good job that maybe you can't do a better job in the future. Maybe that should be your biggest concern right now. Make people depressed as early as possible. Yeah, there is a funny thing that the sort of media that can help people with existentialist problems can also create existentialist problems in the exact people it's trying to solve those problems in. By the way, my friend left me a bag of magic stars in my freezer. But has anyone else tried these? I loved these in my childhood, and I can't work out why. They're just stars that are magic. I have so many connections to things like this. There's no good reason for me to love magic stars, but I love them so much. Like, I have this deep emotional connection to these magic stars. Because I guess once, like, I couldn't have magic stars, then I couldn't again, then I couldn't again, and then they were amazing, and then I couldn't have them ever again. Like, it was only Christmas for me that I could really have, like, nice things, I would say. And so, like, magic stars appearing in my life, being left by a friend being like, do you mind if I leave them? This is, like, the joy. This is the joy of my life. Look at them. They're little stars. They have different names. Look, this one has a little face. That's a copyright symbol. This one has a face that's a mustache, I think. I don't know. But it's just chocolate. There's nothing special about it. But I think it's so interesting. We make these like magical connections to things. And it's hard because if you justify those connections, you're not going to make a lot of progress. I think trying to justify pretty much any connection to anything or anyone, you're not going to make a lot of progress because the things we want to like are not the things we like. And that burns when you try to think about it too hard. But sometimes you just need to realize, like, I'm happy. I have my magic stars. Sometimes they have little smiley faces. And sometimes, instead of smiley faces... Oh, this one's even smilier. Okay, I need to fly up. But there's nothing special about it. It's just chocolate in the shape of stars. I cannot think of anything less special than chocolate in the shape of stars. And yet, here I am, sharing precisely that with all of you. Isn't it weird that I can't block the shulker box of endstone? Have to manually place it like I am a pleb. But yeah, I think sometimes you need to realize happiness comes from sources Like, it's fine when happiness comes from complex sources. It's great. You know, complex sources will get you right in the spot. Buttons are less special. Oh, I love buttons too. Cadbury buttons make me so happy. Remember when Remainers said if we left the EU, we couldn't have them anymore? I think, you know, like, this is like David Solomano's friend, who they might be right. There might be a civil war coming. I'm just saying, in my estimation, that's not true. I think that, like, the most scary situation has a higher level of urgency to everyone. Like, it's really hard to convince people you should stay inside, because if you don't stay inside, what's going to happen is you're going to catch a disease. That disease has a roughly case fatality rate of about 1.something%, 0.something%, somewhere in the 1% region. To you, that's going to be nothing. But if you then spread that, which statistically, the average person spreads 3 times, but not the median person spreads 0 times, but that some people spread, you know, many times, and therefore we get or the median person spreads like 1 times, and therefore lots of people will die, because if you know, like, if a lot of people get something, then that's real bad. That's not a message that resonates. A message that resonates is the hospital system will overflow and everyone will be dead. There won't be people to do anything anymore, because we'll all not be alive anymore. And you're like, oh god, I want to be alive anymore. I like when people I care about are alive too, vaguely. It's always a reminder that we remember things according to the level of the threat. This is why so many YouTubers and adverts will be like, there is a serious problem, and that problem is political correctness. Or there's a serious problem, and it's people misgendering my dogs. I don't understand why they do that, but they do, and you need to fix it now, because the world will be... Oh, sorry, I've never considered myself to be a chocolate person, but Magic Stars hit different. Honestly, as I'm eating them, they don't even taste that good. But they taste like memories. You ever taste memories, and you realize, yeah, memories can taste good. I just watched the first video on your channel, ha 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 ha. Apparently a lot of people have been recommended my Modern Warfare 2, my first ever commentary I did. It's funny because people say I have a thick accent, and like I see it, but also like, that's not my accent. That's not what I sound like. But like, it's what I sound like, so how can I disagree with people that say that? It's sad when you try to taste memories, but they change the recipe. Yeah, that's the saddest thing. You know, people say like, oh yeah, it's pretty sad about the Armenian genocide. No. What's sad is that they changed the recipe in pretty much every one of your favorite childhood chocolates. Cadbury buttons, oh, they taste so good. No, they don't anymore. They change Cadbury cream eggs. Oh, I have cream eggs every Easter. It almost makes me forget about the Armenian tragedy of 1914. No, it doesn't make you forget about the Armenian tragedy. Now I've spoken about the Armenian genocide, I can't monetize this video. It's a controversial event by YouTube standards. I'm sorry. Actually, did I talk about it or did I satirize it? You can satirize important events all you like. Anyway, so the big problem here is that I think you just want to remember things sometimes. You want to put yourself off these problems. But like, there's a funny thing with most products. If you change the recipe of a product 1%, basically no one will notice. Less than 1% of your customers will notice if you change the recipe 1%. And you can save a lot more than 1% of the costs by altering your recipe by 1%. For instance, I watched a food theorist video about how they changed Oreos recently. Was not terrible. The funny thing to me is that like there are so many examples of like, oh yeah, we just changed the recipe by like a tiny bit. Well, that escalated quickly. So, Cav, you ever played Stardew Valley? I have. I miss Stardew Valley so bad. There are so many things. Okay, you know, one of my things I'm trying to do. Can I tell you about a mental health exercise I'm trying to embark upon? I make videos or I work in some form doing something to do one of my many channels. Basically all day, every day. When I'm outside the country, I feel like I'm more flexible about that. I'll work 3 hours a day and then I lock it off. That's the work time. If it's not done by then, not my problem. And I feel like I'm worse off on the channel management as a whole as a result, but I try to balance it out by doing that only so often. Last year I did it for 3 months. This year I have to do it for 3 months. And one of the few things about that is I feel like I finally get time to play video games again. I mean, I don't know if like I should be playing video games if I'm in a brand new city for 3 months and should be enjoying it. But there's a lot of games that I'm like excited to try. Because when people are just like, oh yeah, this game gets good after 12 hours, it's like, I'm not putting 12 unenjoyable hours into something. That's not a thing. I started playing Graveyard Keeper and it's a lot like Stardew Valley, very fun. Would you believe I have a Graveyard Keeper series on my second channel, Brody Privet? Would you believe it? You don't have to believe it because it's true. Hey, I'm going to spread your channel all over social media because you're the best YouTuber, says Golly Dawn. See, this is the thing I wish I could harness. People who like my things. I wish that could be like, I wish there was some way to harness that power and just like know that like things will be afloat. One of my biggest fears, again, I said this is my biggest fear in life, but it's also a big fear on YouTube because it has to be, is like people just forget about you over time. And so Kat, I've been watching your videos for a few months now. Hey, thank you, Hidden Jimbo. Also, thank you, Boo Sharf. Okay, if you're drinking the full fat version, I think Coke might taste better than Pepsi. When I get it from a fountain, Coke tastes better than Pepsi. Probably because like you get Coke from McDonald's and McDonald's puts a lot of effort into making sure their fountains taste good. I get it. But Pepsi Max is so much better than Coke. It's so much better. I don't even understand. We'll never forget about you, says Donjum. But that's the scary thing. You like, it's that whole antagonist thing of like, why can't I place blocks here? Okay, we can do it. It's that whole scary thing about like, you don't remember what you don't remember. Pepsi Max Cherry, says Laura Shoesmith. Yeah, that's my favorite. I like Pepsi Max Cherry the most. But because you don't remember what you don't remember, there's a very, very scary effect. I thought I wouldn't forget about that one Pokemon Go YouTuber. Man, Pokemon Go YouTubers as a concept. They're all like, yeah, this is the next big thing. I'm gonna play Pokemon Go. Then when people forget about Pokemon Go, I'm gonna work out the next big thing. And then so on and so on. And it's like, I've got some bad news for you, Mr. Pokemon Go YouTuber. It turns out you were wrong about that. Turns out the people forgot about Pokemon Go, not years later, not decades later, not even really months later. It was like, it was a multiple week-long fad. And that's why the biggest thing about being a YouTuber is really about finding the fads. Finding the thing that is hot today, and then when the thing that's hot today goes away, finding the next big thing. This is why most Minecraft YouTubers don't play exclusively Minecraft. They play Minecraft when it's hot, and then they'll spend multiple years not playing Minecraft, and then they'll play Minecraft again, and so on and so on. Like that's what I call like the YouTube cycle. Is like certain games coming in and out of fashion. Eventually, I'm sure Slenderman will have its like look around. Travel vloggers, but they walk around and look at their phones. Says OJ. Man, when Minecraft Earth was just about to come out, I had this great idea of like a travel channel, but it's to do with Minecraft. I think even like Green was super excited, like coming along with me. Oh, it's funny. He probably the inspiration for that series that he did with Thingy is in there somewhere. But like, you know, like I like other YouTubers that are excited about the idea too. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to, because every YouTuber has the same problem of like spending too much time focusing on the things, because that's what YouTube almost makes you feel like you have to do. And yeah, it's kind of funny to see. But the main message I want to leave you with today, while we are merry and happy, and very merry and very happy, is sometimes people don't share their happiest moments with you. Partially because they don't want to. Maybe because they feel bad for doing so. But as a result of the many nice things that you've done for me over the years, whether you've been here for those years or not, I'm in a really happy, privileged, lucky position to be not only spending my next few months in a country I really enjoy, the US, But also to be moving into a new house when I get back. Like it's oh no, it's the wrap up. That's good that you can spot it. That's 10 out of 10. Would enjoy again. But yeah, I enjoy these streams a lot, and I intend to do one tomorrow. I have a Thursday stream planned with Olraf, a Minecraft developer, and you sharing your happiness with me has meant a lot. And I'd like to, in return, share my happiness and pleasure back with all of you, because you make me slightly happier than I otherwise would be, internet. And sometimes stating things correctly, sometimes we don't like to say things that like, yeah, let's blow people out of the water. But no, I am moderately pleased by your existence. Anyone who came along to this live stream, thank you for being here. I hope that one day, through the power of this internet... Oh, thank you so much, Vitalin. I hope that one day, through the power of this internet, I can be there for you in whatever form that makes sense on the internet. I don't know that it does make sense. I don't know there are many forms. But whenever someone says that I have been, it makes me happy, because that's who I am. Or maybe that's who you are. Maybe no one is anyone, and maybe existence is a sham used to sell us birthday cakes. I don't know for sure. All I know is that I hope you have a happy birthday, internet, because I'm going to see you all in the next one. Now what I'm gonna do now, it's 10:30. I'm gonna work out what videos I'm recording tomorrow. My plans, because I have to record at least 2 every day for the next 2 weeks. So my next plan is 9 more things you shouldn't build in Minecraft. I've got 4 really fun ideas, and there's one fun idea, but I need a download for a map that I don't know that I can find. And then the other idea I want to make is, because obviously, is some accidental 1.17 features. And so I'm gonna do a little bit of research, put that together. Gonna finish up a 100 days video, and then I'm gonna say thank you for watching. Olraf was here, by the way. I saw him. He sounds like an awesome panda. He does. Thank you, Olraf, for being here. Isn't it supposed to be 8 more things? You know what? It is 8 more things. My bad. Wait, actually, let's settle this on the record right now, in front of a bunch of people. 8 things you shouldn't build in survival. Oh, the last one was 7? And then a year ago, someone called System Build made the exact same video? System Z. Did they steal their idea from me, or they first, and therefore my idea is like a worse version of theirs? So my 7 things you shouldn't build came out April 14th, 2020. Theirs came out November of 2019. Did they have the exact same idea in parallel? Okay, let's go with like 5 things you shouldn't build in survival. Oh, that's so weird. 5 things you should never try in Minecraft. Nobody should even attempt these. My video was in December. Oh my god, a video that I was really proud of because I came up with an idea is kind of similar to a YouTuber that I haven't heard of that did 8 things you should never build in survival like a month before. This is the most heartbreaking thing as a YouTuber. I literally am heartbroken. I can't describe the pain I feel, but it's too much. You know, all those good things I said, I take them back. I feel nothing but pain, and I hope that you feel nothing but pain, or maybe good vibes. I don't know, but I know I'm gonna work on some things, and then I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Thank you for all the tips, by the way. I like money. It makes me happy. You're not meant to admit that on the internet, but I'm admitting it right now.